Hello everyone. Just a bit of a rant really. Since last night, someone tried to rob my fucking bike 25 feet in front of me. So yeah, basically, how to put it without giving any real information as to where I work. Guy was squidding it up a little bit, wasn't he? Bloody hell. Yeah, where I work, parking spaces where everyone parks are visible from where I am. I'd say there's probably about 25 feet between me and where I was parked. It's obviously glass in the way, but yeah, probably about 25 feet. And the customer came in and said, just so you know, around the back of your building there's a bunch of lads or a bunch of kids screwing around there. Why is my indicator on? A bunch of lads screwing around there. Hoi hoi. And we were like, okay, fair enough, I'll go and tell them to bugger off, because literally on the other side of the road from us is like a youth club. So we just thought, oh well, that's what it'll be, kids from the youth club. Turns out it wasn't. As she said this, they walked around the front of the building. And there was 4 lads. They can't have been probably older than 16 or 17. I'd a guess. Hoi hoi. And 3 of them were wearing neck warmers up to over their nose with their hoods up, which, okay, at first I thought was that's a bit odd. And then I clocked the 4th guy, who was wearing full face skull mask, like the ones off Call of Duty and that sort of stuff, like that's kind of over his entire face, the entire mask. And I thought, okay, that still doesn't look right, so I had another look at him. He was wearing that with what looked to me like a full face motocross helmet without the goggles, just like completely, like it was either matte black or gloss black, full face motorcycle helmet. So I was like, okay, that's fucking odd. I then looked over at my bike, and by this point they'd also looked over at my bike. So I looked at my bike and then looked at them. They must have clocked me looking at my bike. So they started walking over. And there's fences and a building site and stuff not far from where I work, literally on the other side of their fence and all that. So I could have thought, oh, they're going over there or whatever, and they got closer and closer to my bike. And then the guy who I was working with, I turned to him and I just said, they're going to go for my fucking bike. It wasn't locked up, bear in mind, steering lock was on and all that, but I didn't have my chain on, because it's only on the other side of the bloody, it's on the side of glass from me, so that doesn't really matter too much. So these lads walk over. Three of them kind of just meandering around. One of them puts his hand on one of my handlebars and tries to get his leg over my bike. By this point I was stood in the window like, you can't be fucking serious. And But this, you know, they were still watching me. A couple of them were still looking at me to see if I'd do anything. And I couldn't have done anything. If they had gotten on my bike and managed to start it somehow with the steering lock on and with me having the keys, I wouldn't have been able to do anything, because I would have had to get through the front doors of the building and 2 security doors that you have to have like a fob to get through. So I wouldn't have been able to get to it. So I was thinking, shit, I've fucking lost my bike here. They've had the bike off me. And a customer pulled up next to them. Luckily this guy was quite big, and he must have got out the bike and got out his car, and looked at them and been like, what the fucking hell do you think you're doing? And they immediately shut themselves and ran. Like, you know, from what I can gather, I don't know how 100% solid this information is. From what I can gather, they managed to get a few miles away, which is understandable. There's a train station not even 5 minutes up the road. So they got a good few miles away, and then they were seen, I think, riding motorcycles or a motorcycle around this other part of the world. So I have a feeling they managed to pinch some unlucky fucker's bike off him. But when I was telling another friend of mine in work today about it, he said apparently a few people on Facebook, I have no idea who they are, no affiliation with any of them or whatever, but I think these are other people who've had their bikes nicked, or they know people who've had their bikes nicked, and I'm not talking 125s, I'm on about 600s, 800s, 1200s, you know, big bikes, proper bikes. It's not really a proper bike, but anyway. And these people seem to be banding together now and actively driving around looking for these lads, trying to catch them out in the act. So whether they'll be able to, because from what I can understand, it's the same sort of lads who are doing it. So they're trying to catch them out, and then I think they want to teach them a lesson. So I do kind of hope that they bloody find them, because I don't see how anyone thinks that it's okay to do that, and I don't see how people can think that not only are they going to get away with it with today's social media, but regardless of that, they still think, oh, I'll give it a try. Sound. But it's kind of opened my eyes a little bit, so I think I'm going to have to buy some sort of very loud alarm for my bike. And I'm definitely going to be a bit, what's the word? A bit wary about people who go near my bike now. But having said that, my faith in humanity is not all completely gone, because there's a couple of customers who are regular, come in and buy the odd thing or whatever now and again, and come in and talk to us and have a chat. And today, bearing in mind this only happened last night, wait, thank you, bearing in mind this only happened last night, good 2 or 3 customers will come in and be like, you saw what happened on this Facebook group that you put it on, we're assuming it was you, were you alright? I'm like, yeah, I'm completely fine. I would have tried to get out and say something, but as a customer pointed out, there was 4 of them and 1 of me. So if I had managed to get out there, chances are I wouldn't be walking or something like that. They would have probably jumped on me, especially with all their gear on. Alright then, don't run. Especially with all their gear on, because they were, you know, like I said, one of them was in a motorcycle helmet, so he, you know, getting hit with one of them, it's going to hurt. Tomorrow, when I finish work, there is an Aldi just round the corner from me, so I am going to Aldi and buying we've got like a summer beer festival thing on in there. So they've got 19 or 18, I think it's 18 different beers. So I'm going to buy one of every beer and do a little review of them all. Because I think they're like proper ales and stuff, IPAs and stuff like that. And I don't mind that sort of stuff every now and again. And this one's like infused with honey and all different kinds of ones. So we'll see what they're like. I would like suggestions for topics and stuff like that. Eventually I am going to do some sort of regime's probably the wrong word, but I'll be doing like Topic Tuesday, hopefully, and like a rambling one where I can just ramble about different stuff. False neutral again. If you want to keep up to date, I've got a Facebook page. Link will be in the description, and I'll catch you with you guys soon.